Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of CU Faith Fridays. This week we have joining us Brittany Gaule, who's a senior here at Caldwell. Today she's here to talk to us a little bit about her faith journey and kind of beyond that as well. But I'll start by just kind of letting Brittany introduce herself and tell us a little bit more about who she is, where she's from, and all of that. So Brittany, why don't you take it over?
Thanks for having me, Colleen. I'm a senior. I'm from Vernon, New Jersey. I decided to come to Caldwell because I really like the spiritual atmosphere here. I like the class sizes. The campus is small, so the professors and the staff know you. As soon as they see you, they know your name and who you are. I'm involved in the string ensemble here, so I like to play the viola. I've played for a while, my whole life growing up. In my free time, I like to adventure, going on hikes and walks. It just helps me relax and connect with nature and with God. It definitely helps during these times. So, my major is psychology and my minor is human resource management. I'd like to pursue a career in human resources. And I'm also involved in campus ministry, string ensemble, like I said, and the psychology club here.
Cool. Wow, you're definitely involved in a lot. One thing you said is you like to go on like hikes and be outside. Is there any place around here or Caldwell that you like to go to where you can really get outside?
I know Eagle Rock is a popular one. The trails there. Yeah, definitely.
Right.
And just other parks in the area. I know there's a lot in Essex
Nice.
County, so we're lucky.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And I'm sure, like you said, you're from Vernon, so that's, North Jersey.
Right.
So I'm sure you guys have a lot more like parks and open spaces up there.
Yeah, definitely.
The further you get from New York area.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Nature is big there, especially during this time. It's beautiful. The leaves and everything are gorgeous.
Awesome. I also liked one of the things that you mentioned was you came to Caldwell for the spiritual aspect, and I know that you're involved in campus ministry, which is great. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But one of the things I was remembering as you were talking was the first time that we ever met. I had just started here, and for our listeners who might not know, Brittany was Brittany's class is kind of the first full class that I was here for. So I started at Caldwell in the spring semester of 2017, I almost said 2021, 2017, and Brittany was still a senior in high school at that point. And I distinctly remember I was sitting in my office and she and her mom were on a campus visit, and they came by my office to like chat with me about campus ministry and the theology program and all that here at Caldwell. And so that's definitely one of my first memories of you. And then the second thing that comes to mind, which I will ask you a little bit more about, but I know that you really have a devotion or a love for St. Augustine.
Yeah.
And at the bottom of my email signature has a quote from St. Augustine. And I remember you mentioning that to me. So I think that's really an important aspect of our faith. And I remember in the Faith Fridays episode of Dr. Whalen, he talked a little bit about saints as well. So I don't know, do you want to share anything with us about your love or your devotion to St. Augustine? Where did that come from? What do you value about him as a person, as a leader, a role model of faith in your life?
Yeah, I remember seeing that in your email, and that was like the final like sign that I should come to Caldwell, because I was like, Mom, this is just meant to be. She has this quote in her email, and that's it. That's where I'm going. So yeah, that definitely helped me along the way. He's a patron saint of theology, which is what my major was going into college. So yeah, that was definitely important to me, and I still pray to him. Yeah, definitely. And I was born in August. I believe that's his saint day, is in that month, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I have to double check that, but
yeah. So that too.
That's great.
Yeah. Yep.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And as I'm sure a lot of our listeners know, that a devotion to a particular saint for whatever reason can be very helpful in our spiritual journeys. So that's awesome. That's great. So let's I guess kind of the next question I have is thinking about the semester that we've had so far. We're a little more than halfway through, and I do know that you are on campus this semester. You're one of the students who is living on campus, taking some classes on campus, some online, I think. But I guess
Right.
just in general, how have you felt the semester's going for you?
The semester, it's definitely been different. It's been a big adjustment just because everything's more virtual, so there's less like face-to-face interaction, which I think is really important for us to have that. So that's been kind of limited. But so far, though, the classes have been going well, and I've been getting involved just anything along the way, any activities that you could sign up for or get involved in. Um, that really has helped. But still, it's been different. But still, there's people there for us, and I know there's resources, so it's still going well. I'm still able to succeed in class, which is good.
Yeah. And I want to ask you, because you're a peer minister in the campus ministry office, which means
Right.
that you know, are a work study student, but you also take on some significant leadership roles in terms of planning programming and stuff. And I think when you speak about getting involved this semester and staying involved, I think you have I want to highlight that you've really contributed to a lot of those opportunities to get involved on campus. So what have been some of the things that you've done through campus ministry this semester, but also if the psychology club, I think you said you're in, if they've
Yeah.
done anything, what have some of those opportunities been for you?
Most of the activities I've led this semester were with campus ministry. So the biggest one that we just had was the pumpkin decorating event, which I know a lot of students enjoyed and loved. You're able to come decorate pumpkins outside the Newman Center, and it was just great to see people getting involved. I think it was something that everyone needed, just something to take your mind off everything and just be involved in something on campus. So that was good. And also, we made prayer stone cards. So a card with a little prayer on it, and then like a worry stone that you can hang on to and be reminded that someone's always with you. So I know people always like to receive those. It's like a little symbol of faith. So I like to think that what we've done so far has helped people, especially in these hard times.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, and I think you know, even though there have been a lot and you've really done a lot to help that programming happen here on campus, I don't think it's any secret that as a senior, your senior year has been a little bit disrupted
Yeah,
in that way.
definitely.
So not, I guess, not just have you felt that it's been disrupted, but what ways do you really feel like your senior year has been disrupted and kind of taken away from you in a sense?
Yeah, I think it has been because it's definitely there's less people around, so it's quieter than usual. So I just kind of miss like that vibe, like seeing everyone around and everyone you know, and just like a simple like hi, how are you? Like around. Sometimes there's like no one and it can feel lonely, but um, we just have to remember that there are people there for us, having our back, and that's definitely important to get us through. But I hope that by the time that May rolls around, we have a normal graduation and everything for our senior year, all the
Yeah,
activities that come with it. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
think we're all hopeful for you guys for
yeah.
that too. Um, you know, you're a senior, but if there are freshmen or even sophomores watching this, what would you recommend that they do to try to um, muddle through this pandemic time in school? You know, especially I think about the freshmen who are remote learners right now.
Yeah.
It's got to be really hard. You know, how do you meet people? How do you make friends? But from your experience here at Caldwell, and especially this year, what would you recommend or say are some good things for students to really focus on to find that support, as you said?
I think definitely reaching out to whoever you can. I know it's hard, especially if you don't know anyone yet, but I think getting involved in even just like the club activities that they have, like simple stuff that they throw out there, maybe like during weeknights. I think just get involved, and you never know who you can meet or get connected with along the way. And people in your classes, everyone's really nice. The professors will help you. So I think no matter who you're working with, I think you could find someone to connect with and grow your circle of friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's just, you know, sometimes when we're on campus, we don't even have to think about it because people and programs just kind of come our way and things
Right.
pop up. But you almost have to make that extra effort, and that can be what's really hard, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So let's fast forward just a little bit, jumping back a few months, maybe 6 months, we'll say, when March hit and we went into quarantine, lockdown. What was kind of the pandemic like for you? What are some of the things that you did to keep busy, to keep motivated, especially as your classes were only halfway through the year? What was that pandemic time like for you?
Yeah, so I work as a cashier at a grocery store back home, so it was definitely busy for me. The store was crazy. I worked like at least 40 hours a week, sometimes even more than that. People in the stores, you all know how it was, like a state of panic. People were worried. There were products that were out for like an indefinite period of time. Lysol wipes, toilet paper, paper towels, everything like that. So we all felt like it was never going to end, honestly. We would leave at the end of the day just like drained and exhausted. But eventually it did calm down, thank God. People definitely have been less stressed, but you can still kind of feel like that tension, everyone, understandably, in the stores. So as a cashier, I've been playing like a big role just keeping people calm and helping them have a safe and comfortable shopping experience. So yeah, that was a big part of the pandemic for me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And
Yeah.
I mean, not great that it had to happen, but great that
Yeah.
you were able to find yourself in that role.
Right.
And knowing what I know about you, I think you were just very well suited for a position where you were on the front lines,
Yeah.
not maybe in a way that people originally thought at the start of the pandemic, right? It was doctors,
Right.
it was nurses, it was, any healthcare workers, all of that. But so much it was like grocery store cashiers,
Yeah.
managers, people who worked in those stores where people went to get the supplies they needed to
Right.
feel safe. And being met by you, I think, as a cashier was probably really comforting for them. And so I'm sure, though, that as you were kind of finding your own way through the chaos, you were also trying to be there to support others. So
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Did you find any, oh, go ahead.
No, I think that's a big thing because we kind of had to like stay strong, even though we were risking our lives every day and we had our own families to go home to and worry about. So, yeah, that was definitely a big part of it. I don't think a lot of people recognize that during the whole thing, but yeah, we were really essential in there. But I thank God that I was able to work and have a job because I know a lot of people couldn't. So it was a good thing that I was able to work.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I was going to ask you about the correlation between your faith and working in a grocery store during the pandemic. But I think what I want to ask is what, now being like 6 or 7 months into it, what have you found are some of the graces from that period of time for you that you are experiencing today from that moment? What are some of the gifts that you felt like God gave you?
I think just like the people I've met along the way, because I know there were a lot of people who were going through a lot and stressed. So just knowing that like I was able to play a huge part in it and touch someone's life, hopefully, that's a gift for me, definitely. And like I said, just being able to still go to work every day because I know there were people who weren't able to, who lost their jobs and everything like that. So that was a gift along the way.
That's great. And hopefully you're still feeling the effects of those gifts and graces today.
Yeah.
As you continue to navigate what school is like and all that.
Right.
Let's transition a little bit to, I know we've been kind of gently leading in there, but let's transition a little bit to faith and spirituality and your relationship with God. How would you say you describe your faith life?
Faith it's always been important to me. I'm not going to say that it's perfect. I know no one's faith life is really perfect. There are challenges along the way. So I know there's always room for improvement. I'd like to grow more in my faith, possibly pray more every day. I try to go to Mass every Sunday, which helps a lot. And I would say that my faith is strong, but like I said, there's always room to improve it even more. So that's what I've been working on. And luckily we can still do that because we have Mass on Sunday. So here on campus.
Yeah, that's a nice gift for sure.
Yeah.
What role has your faith played in your life?
Yeah, my faith has definitely gotten me through a lot of struggles in my life. My freshman year, my dad was sick. He was diagnosed with cancer. So that got me through a huge struggle in my life, especially being a freshman coming into college and being away while he was sick. So the only thing that got me through was knowing that God was with him and with my mom, keeping them strong, even though I couldn't be there with them every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And how is your dad today?
All better, thank God. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Checkups along the way, but he's been clear. So that's good.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
What a blessing. What a blessing. And what a unique way to start college, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Like another challenge, struggle adjusting to college and knowing what's going on at home. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think when we have some of those obstacles or challenges in our faith, or in our life, it can sometimes lead us in a direction away from our faith. And
Right.
so, truly, I believe that it's by the grace of God that we are able to continue to have that faith, even in those challenging moments.
Definitely. Yeah.
I think obstacles and challenging moments are, as we said, like a part of our everyday life and a part of college students' everyday lives. What do you think are some of the obstacles or challenges that that college students face in light of their faith? Like that, almost like, what are the obstacles or challenges that prevent them from finding their faith and connecting in their faith?
Yeah, I know that as a college student, there's a lot going on in our world. We're busy every day, and I think there's a lot of dark in the world today, a lot of darkness, so dark times that we're living in. It can be hard to find that light and that faith. But I think there's just a sign that we need God more than ever today. But I know it's hard as a college student. You're busy, exams, tests, studying, everything like that. And it's the end of the day and we forgot to pray and another day goes by and another one. So I think that's unfortunate because we have so much to be grateful for and to pray to God for, not only during hard times, but during the good times to thank him. And I know that as a college student, sometimes it could feel like, oh, my faith, I could just push it aside. It's not really something cool or something I could focus on, but it's something that we definitely all need to get through the hard times. So I think like a good message to college students would be not to hide your faith. Don't worry what other people think. It'll help you in the long run. And you should be that light, be that face of God to others.
That's great. That's awesome. I love that. I guess to kind of wrap up, do you have a favorite prayer or a favorite way to pray that you'd like to share with our listeners?
Yeah, I think every day, just like in the morning, my prayer is that other people will see God through me. That's something that my mom prays every day. She says, Lord, let them see you in me. So that's been something that I try to incorporate into my own life, just like being that face of God for others. And yeah, I think that's really important. And that's just a simple prayer that could start the day and really empower you and help you shine in front of others.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. And, as soon as you said that, I honestly thought back to when you were talking about being a cashier in like the height of the pandemic. Like,
yeah, definitely.
What a necessary prayer to pray then.
Right.
What a necessary prayer to pray today.
Yeah.
As
absolutely.
We're in election season. Our country is so divided right now, and people, even within our church, are so divided. Faith is so divided right now.
Yeah.
And so what a beautiful prayer to pray these days. So thank you for that. Well, thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us before we close?
I just think a good message is just to stay strong in your faith. I know that can seem like a challenging time that's like never going to end, but God is with you no matter what, and he's there and he'll bring us through these hard times.
Excellent. Perfect. Wonderful. Well, I just want to thank Brittany for being with us today, for talking with us, for sharing with us. I think there were some beautiful tidbits of wisdom that she was able to share, and we hope that you received that as well from her. So thanks for being here. So next week we will be back, hopefully with a new guest for CU Faith Fridays. As we kind of wrap up the semester, we'll have hopefully a few more episodes before we're finished. So thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week.